So starting off, I created our program plan, and this is a plan that allows anybody to play this game just by reading this. So it gives instructions, goals, objectives, tips, hints, and other relevant information. And I created this so that I could organize how I wanted to deliver the game, and our group would understand um, how to participate, how the game went, because it is slightly different since we are not allowed to play in person. We had to do this over Zoom. So things had to be changed a little bit, and I needed them to really understand the instructions to be able to explain it to our participants. So after I created our program plan, me, Brad, and Alex finalized the questions that we wanted to implement in our game, and we added them to our program plan, and we added up their point value and made sure everything equaled 100, and wanted to make sure we had enough questions so that we could play at least one really long game or maybe multiple short games, depending on how we wanted to set that up. So next was actually creating the game. So this was done through another Zoom call, and this was also done by me, Brad, and Alex. Alex found a template online for a online Zoom style Family Feud game, and we utilized that for making our PowerPoint. We split up putting the questions into the PowerPoint, and we made it interactive so that the pieces would move, so you could show the answers and the X's for wrong answers and things like that. And since the three of us pretty much found the questions and put together the entire PowerPoint, a couple days after, I hosted another Zoom call, and I asked each of the other group members that had not been participating to find and add or survey another question to add to the PowerPoint so that they could have at least a small part in creating that. So next was the actual game day. So preparing for the game day, I hosted a Zoom call about an hour before we were supposed to hop online to join the Zoom call for our game. And I pretty much just brought the rest of the group up to speed, and I wanted them to be able to ask any last minute questions from me, Brad, or Alex, who pretty much created the whole thing and didn't get much support from them. But I wanted them to be able to know what we were doing and hopefully not embarrass us. So after that Zoom call ended, we all hopped on to the game Zoom, and I started off the games with introductions. So I introduced myself, and then I led the rest of my group into introducing themselves and then the players. After Owen read the instructions, I then read the first question, but I did make a mistake by not counting the apple as a fruit, and I set up a bad start for the game. And this really sucked because I could tell that it upset the players, but I was nervous, and it was just a simple mistake, kind of, but it did mess up the game a bit. But I did attempt to play it off as we needed a more specific answer, because some of our later questions did need a specific answer, like our carnival question, where a carousel and a Ferris wheel, both of them are rides. So I did kind of hope that I could get kind of a positive response from explaining that. So what we could have done better is a lot of things. Our group was definitely not prepared for the game as much as it could have been. We didn't get a lot of participation from a lot of our group members, and I could have done better at getting the group together earlier, but I just wasn't getting responses through team chat or even group text messages. Everyone just said they were busy, so I kind of just had to take it into my own hands to put a lot of this together and do the best that I can. Luckily, I did have a lot of help from Brad and Alex, but I think with the participation and response that we got from the rest of our group members, the game went fairly smoothly, all things considering, with the lack of cooperation. I think the participants did enjoy the game. You know, everyone seemed to be laughing and things like that, but I definitely could have done better by not messing up that first question. And that's pretty much the extent of what I did for the project. A lot of it was done by me, Brad, and Alex. And yeah.